Hi, Kerry-Lynne, Member of Parliament for South Surrey White Rock. I sit here at my desk in my Hill office on June 23rd, the end of the spring session for this Parliament before we take our summer recess. So I thought I'd just catch up with you all and tell you some of the things we've been working on in the last few weeks. As you probably know, I'm the Shadow Minister for National Defence, and that means I'm also the Vice Chair of the House of Commons Standing Committee on National Defence. And we've been very busy on that committee, hearing from all manner of military experts and academics and veterans and serving military. We have just tabled 2 reports that have gone into Parliament. One we did a small clarification report on, but basically at the end of the day, the committee members were certainly in unanimity about the importance of these reports and the content, and those have been on the threat analysis for Canada and recruitment and retention in the armed services. So we're very pleased to have done that work, and when we get back in September, we'll continue and finish off our study on aid to civil authorities. All of those who live in BC, of course, know that the Canadian Armed Forces were deployed during the major flooding we had in the Abbotsford-Chilliwack area, as they have been deployed in other COVID-related ways. So this is very important to try and understand the role that the Canadian Armed Forces will be playing in future such domestic emergencies. I also was named to the Special House of Commons Committee on Afghanistan, looking at both the evacuation of Afghanistan as Kabul fell at the time the last election was called, and also moving forward in terms of those left behind and humanitarian needs. The humanitarian needs in Afghanistan are serious and severe even before the recent earthquake. And of course, the very concerning developments on human rights continue there, and for women and girls, it is particularly dire. There was a lot of criticism during the testimony we heard at committee on the way the government handled the evacuation. And we have many Afghan interpreters and certainly their family members who are still in Afghanistan and really struggling to get out. So we will continue to monitor that situation. Our report has gone in on that, and I encourage you to look up any of these reports and read them. I have done a fair bit of media lately. I've been on CTV Power Play talking about a recent government announcement for $4.9 billion in reallocated spending to go towards NORAD modernization, something we desperately need in Canada. Our Arctic security and sovereignty are under threat, particularly from China and Russia, and we need to continue to be vigilant in our north and help our rangers in the north. We need to see our national shipbuilding procurement program that we started under the Conservative government. We need to see it continue with equipment into the north, and we'll be looking to see for an investment from government in nuclear submarines, perhaps, that can stay under the ice, certainly the polar icebreakers and equipment like that. I went to a recent dinner put on by the Ambassador for the European Union here in Ottawa. A very interesting dinner because they had been part of a symposium on national defense issues around the world. And I was able to talk to people from several countries, Brazil, Germany, the United States, Poland, and elsewhere, on those very important issues with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. I had lunch last week with 3 members of parliament from the Ukraine parliament, and they were very clear in saying that they understand Russians and they understand what this present government under Putin is up to, and they have a 3-pronged approach to Ukraine, which is a military plan, a food plan, and an energy plan. And they are looking to conquer Ukraine and take it over by pursuing aggressive action in all three areas. Very concerning, of course. I also had a trip a while back to Washington, D.C., where I participated in a meeting of almost all Arctic nations at the embassy there to talk about concerns about the Arctic and again about Eastern Europe and what's happening in Ukraine. I also was able to sit in on some congressional hearings on the F-35, which is very interesting. That F-35, by the way, which the Conservative government wanted to purchase many years ago, and we were very much criticized for it, is after 7 years the jet of choice of this government again. And we are expecting to see it, but there are no contracts signed yet as I'm speaking to you.